Hello and welcome to another blog highlight video. I'm Isaiah Henkel with Cheeky Scientist. This week's blog is 7 resume mistakes that are keeping you from getting hired as a PhD. This is one of our favorite topics. Understanding how to communicate your value on a resume is a great first step in your job search, and that's why we spend so much time on resumes. Not because they are the most important part of your job search, they're not, but it's usually the starting point. Very likely you've been uploading resumes, you haven't heard anything back. You've hit that sticking point in your career, your job search. This will help you overcome it. It'll talk about why you're likely failing when it comes to resumes. A couple of things that are brought up here are formatting issues, but also things that you may not think are a problem, but actually are, like writing too much on your resume. Only PhDs go into a document and reduce the margins, right, to fit more information in. This is a unique PhD thing. Other people expand the margins, right? They try to increase the spacing. They want to reduce the amount of words and work that they have to put into a document, not PhDs. So you have to go against what you've learned to do in academia and streamline what your messaging is. You want your resume to fit on 1 or 2 pages at the most. You want larger spacing, not single spacing on your resume. You want to use bullet points. You want to have healthy margins. And you even want to indent text towards the center of the page because people skim resumes. On average, they spend 5 to 7 seconds on a resume, whether they are a hiring manager or a recruiter. They're not carefully reading it from left to right. All of these things are covered. Other things that are covered include not adding too much technical jargon. You want to use words that are specific for that industry, not your academic words, your academic jargon, okay? You have to make a resume that's future-facing, not past-facing. Including generic keywords, including a full works cited section. You don't need to list the volume, the issue number of your publications. Instead, you can consolidate it down to a single bullet point that talks about how many publications you have and maybe references 1 or 2 of the biggest name publications you have. For example, resulting in 5 publications, including a Nature Immunology publication. Finally, don't write an objective statement. We'll talk about why. We'll talk about how you want to use a professional summary instead. And we'll talk about how to actually use your resume to apply. Okay, so what happens when you get your resume done? How do you actually use it to get hired? This takes us to the end of this blog highlight video. As always, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.